7 equations and inequalities with rational numbers. All right, negative 5 6x plus 1/2 equals 3/4. Okay, do we like fractions?
No.
No, we don't really like fractions at all. Okay, we don't all like fractions. Now, could we solve this using fractions?
Yeah.
Yes, do we know how to find common denominators and then multiply by the reciprocal and do all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to teach you a different way to do this. Okay? So, what is a common denominator for all of these numbers up here? What could we use as a common denominator? Michael?
12.
12, right? 4 is not going to work because we can't get 6 to 4. Okay? So 12 is going to be our common denominator. What are we going to have to multiply the whole first fraction by then? Times 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, what about the second one?
Times 6.
Times 6. And the third one?
Times 3.
Times 3. Okay, when we do that, well, negative 5 times 2 is negative 10 over 12x plus, well, what's 1 times 6? 6 over 12 equals, what are we going to equal?
9.
9 over 12. Now, do they all have the same denominator?
Yes.
Yes. So what we're going to do is those denominators actually cancel out. Okay, if it's all the same, it's like it's not even there. So how could I rewrite this problem? Negative 10x plus 6 equals 9. Is that something we've done before now?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What do I have to do first to start solving for x, Valeria?
Get rid of addition and subtraction.
Get rid of addition and subtraction, so I have to do what?
Minus 6.
Minus 6, right? Minus 6. So negative 10x equals 3. And then what am I going to have to do, Olivia?
Divide by negative 10.
Exactly, I'm going to divide by negative 10. So x must equal negative 3 over 10. And you are done. Okay, so you try this one. 7 over 16x minus 3 over 8 equals 3 over 4, and I want you to use common denominators.
Okay.
So common denominator, what's our common denominator going to be? 16, so we multiply this one by 2 and this one by 4. So then we're going to be left with 7/16 x minus 6/16 equals 12/16. What can I do with my 16ths?
Cancel.
Yeah, those go away, but don't forget that that negative is right here. Okay, so this is going to be 7x minus 6 equals 12. And then what do I have to do? Undo addition and subtraction, so we're going to add 6. So 7x equals 18. Divide by 7, so x must equal 18 sevenths.
What if you change it to a mixed number?
You can change it to a mixed number also, yeah.
So
now we are going to learn how to get rid of the decimals. So we have 2.3 equals, write this down, 2.3 equals 5.14 plus 0.8 m. Could we solve this using decimals?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay? There is another way, is we can get rid of the decimals. Okay? The farthest decimals that we have to go over is 2, 1, 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that for each number. So if this one moved over 2 to get rid of the decimals, this one's going to move over 2 to get rid of the decimals, and this is going to move over 2 to get rid of the decimals. Okay? Because what am I really doing is I'm timesing it by 100 to get rid of the decimals. Could you keep the decimals? Yes, but you can also get rid of them. So this new number, it's not going to be 2.3 anymore. What's it going to be? 230
Oh, wow.
equals 514 plus 80 m. Okay, so basically what we did is we just got rid of the decimals. We multiplied each one by 100. Now remember, if you do the same thing to everything, doesn't really change the problem.
No.
Okay? Michael?
I'm assuming we only have to go over to 2 decimals.
For this one we go to 2 because that gets rid of the decimals. You might have to go 3. You might only have to go 1.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
So it's like the furthest one you
The furthest one you gotta go. Yep. So then what are we gonna do?
Undo addition, subtraction.
Yep, so what are we gonna have to do here? Someone I haven't heard from today. Sophie?
you need to subtract 514.
Subtract 514 from both sides, right? How do I do 230 minus 514? Katie?
Minus 514 from 230. That's
Yeah.
negative.
So 514 minus 230. 4. Gotta borrow. That's a 8 and a 2, but it has to be negative. So we get negative 284 equals 80m. Now what do I have to do? Everybody?
Divide by 8.
Divide by what?
80.
Yep. Divide by 80. Divide by 80. Before I do any division, I'm going to make my life simpler. What can I divide both of these by?
2.
2. So negative 141. Whoa. 141 over 40. Well, how many times does 40 go into 141?
10 times.
No. Think about how many times 4 goes into 14.
3 times.
3. Because 4 times 3 is 12. So 40 times 3 is 120. So we've got 21 out of 40 left over. Okay, and I would accept either one of these answers, unless I told you otherwise. I made a mistake. This should be 142, and then we can actually divide it by what again?
2.
Divide it by 2 again. So this would be negative 71 over 20. How many times does 20 go into 71? 3 with how many left over? 11 out of 20, and that would be negative. Thank you, Sophie. This one, 2.2b minus 3.64 equals 8.46. Okay, so we're gonna move them all over twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we get 220b minus 364 equals 846. Okay, what am I going to have to do now? Undo addition and subtraction. This time we have to undo subtraction, so we have to add 364 to both sides. And when we do that, we get 1210 equals 220 b. So then we have to divide by what?
220.
Yep, divide by 220. So then b is going to equal, well, 1,210 over 220. What can I do?
Reduce.
Cancel out my
Zeros.
zeros first, right?
And
So then b equals 121 over 22. What can I actually divide this both by?
2.
Nope.
Sorry.
2.
11.
11. You can divide them both by 11. 121 divided by 11 is 11. 22 divided by 11 is 2. So b must equal 11 over 2 or 5 and a half. Okay? Reduce before you divide. It makes your life a lot easier. All right. A sign in a clothing store says to take 1/3 off the marked price of the shirt. You have $20 in cash and a $5 gift certificate. What are the original prices of the shirts you can afford to buy?
$25.
Okay, so thinking slowly. You have $20 in cash and a $5 gift certificate.
Ooh, I know.
Okay. It is 1/3 off the first price, the marked price of the shirt. How are we going to set up an equation to help us solve this? What do you think, Nicholas?
I don't know. I thought I did.
So if we take this, if we look at it, that we can set it up. Okay, here is the words. We want to do the original price minus the sale price minus the gift card,
Right.
and that must be less than the cash on hand.
Why is it a
Okay,
gift card?
the reason that we're gonna start this way is because we've got to do a bunch of different stuff together. So what is the original price? X. X is the original price. What is the sale price?
1/3.
1/3 X. So it'll be the original price minus 1/3 X minus gift card minus 5. Could you have also put that into your cash on hand
Yeah.
and made that 25? Yes. Okay. But that has to be less than your cash on hand, which is 20. Okay. Now what am I going to do to solve this equation? Just the steps that we have been taking, right? Let's get X on one side by itself, so we're going to add 5 to both sides. And you could have done this at the beginning, right? So X minus 1/3 X is less than 25. Well, what's X? What is 1X minus 1/3 X? What is 1 minus 1/3? 2/3. So this is going to be 2/3 X is less than 25. Okay? How am I going to solve this now? What am I going to use to get the correct answer? Michael?
You're gonna do the, what we did, 5.6.
Multiplicative inverse or reciprocal, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to multiply this side by 3/2 and multiply this side by 3/2. So X must be less than, well, 25 times 3 is 75/2. Is that how we have money? Is money in fractions like that? No, so we have to do it out. 75 divided by 2. 2 goes into 7 3 times with 1 left over. 2 goes into 15 7 times with how many left over? 1. So it must be 37.5 or 37.50.
No, they can't buy the shirt.
Yes, they can buy the shirt. The original price on the shirt must be $37.50 or less. Because remember, it's a sale. Okay? And you have $25. But because of the sale, you actually can buy a shirt that's worth $37.50. Do you- Okay. Less than or equal to. Can we still, does the rules that we learned earlier apply to this?
Yeah.
Yes. What are some rules with inequalities that we learned? Katie?
Wait, what?
What's a rule with an inequality that we learned? Everyone should be able to answer this. You had a quiz on it already.
So you have to undo addition.
Yeah, but there's a big rule with inequalities that we learned.
Oh.
Talk to your partners about it.
What is it?
All right, so the important rule that we learned for inequalities is that when you are multiplying or dividing by a negative, you must flip the inequality. Now, do I want to do fractions here?
No.
No. Multiply this by 2, multiply this one by 2. So we get -6/8m minus 1/8 is less than or equal to -2/8. Now what should I do? Oh, Malia, what should I do?
So now you have to take away 1/8. No, you just cross out 8.
Take away the 8s first, right? Because we don't want the fractions. We got rid of them, right? Okay. So then -6m minus 1 is less than or equal to -2. Coop, what should I do?
Then you have to undo the fraction. So you have to add, which then gives you negative.
Add 1, yep. So -6m is less than or equal to -1. Then what do I have to do, Cole?
Sorry, my voice is.
Oh, your voice is kind of done. Do you want me to call somebody else? Yeah, there we go. Divide by -6 divided by -6. Because I'm dividing by a negative, what do I have to do? Flip. So this is going to be greater than or equal to 1/6. So now we've got m is greater than or equal to 1/6. And that's your final answer. That was our last problem, and we are going to work on the worksheet now.